Hello, and welcome to our 2016 Out and Equal Workplace Summit Know Before You Go webinar session. My name is Daniel Lawrence Smith, Director of Education Strategy here at Out and Equal. A few housekeeping items before we begin. This is a broadcast audio call and will be approximately 1 hour in length. Please be sure to turn up the speakers on your headsets and computer so that you can hear everything in the call. We will ask for your active participation throughout the session, so we will have some polls and questions, and we'll be very interested to hear your feedback. This call will be recorded and made available as a digital archive afterward. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce Rachel Rubin, Deputy Director at Out and Equal.
Thanks so much, Daniel, and thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This is the first year we've done a Know Before You Go town call. It usually comes in email format, so we hope that this works really well for you all, and we're really excited to share with you some of the tips and tricks of making the most of your summit this year. So we're going to talk a little bit about what to expect when you arrive. We're going to go over some of the conference locations, an overview of the summit throughout the 4 days that you're going to be joining us there. We'll talk a little bit about what's new in 2016, and we're going to carve out some time at the end for any questions that you have. I think we're going to start with a video. All right. So let us know if you have attended a summit in the past. I see that some responses are coming in. A lot of you joined us in San Francisco, and we have some folks from Dallas. It looks like we have about 50% of you all have, this will be your first summit, so welcome, welcome to Summit this year. Great. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the overview. So our conference starts on October 4th with Leadership Day. So Leadership Day is a special separate ticketed part of Summit. It's the day before, and it's a time to take a really deep dive into a topic that's of interest to you. So we have workshops throughout Summit that are all 90 minutes. This takes an 8-hour day and helps give a really good 360-degree understanding of that, and also gives you an opportunity to network and connect with colleagues in your industry and across industries that are also interested in those topics. So when you go to register, you'll be able to see what the different topics are, but some of them are your BRG or Advanced ERGs, your Early Year ERGs, Allies and Advocates, Global, Unconscious Bias, and a handful of other really fantastic topics we have for Leadership Day. So you can take a look at that. If you've already registered for Summit and now you're rethinking wanting to add that, you can go back into your registration and add that extra Leadership Day. Then the full conference is October 5th through 7th, which we will talk a little bit more as we get into the details of this. And as a note, that is a slightly different pattern if you have joined us at Summit in the past. So we have been on a Monday through Thursday pattern, and now we're on a Tuesday through Friday pattern this year. So make special note. And then Saturday after Summit is Orlando Pride, so we hope you'll join us there. And I think we're going to go into some more details, but we'll be shuttling everybody that would like to come from the 3 different hotels that we're going to be at to downtown Orlando for Pride. We also have a contingency, and they're going to be marching. So if you're interested in marching with us, or if you have colleagues that are interested in marching with us, let us know. And there is when you get kind of all of the links from this call after in the wrap-up, you'll see a link to let us know if you'd like a ride to Orlando Pride on our bus, and if you'd like to march with us. All right. So the conference locations, so here where those little ampersands are the 4 main locations of Summit this year. So one is the hotels. Most of the conference is taking place at the Dolphin and Swan, and that's where most of our conference attendees are staying. We have another really big block of folks staying at the Yacht and Beach Club, and the Yacht and Beach Club is also where Leadership Day is going to be, and all of our ticketed events are going to be. It's about a 7-minute walk from the Dolphin and Swan, so not too bad. And then night out is going to be at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which you'll hear about a little bit more later on in the call. So those are kind of, you can get a sense of the little village that we'll be in Orlando in October. So before you arrive, we really encourage you to download our app, CONVENE, which you're going to hear about a little bit later in the call. And you can also look on our website. We're going to have the program book pre-published, but there is a lot happening at Summit, and a lot of it is happening at the same time. So there are a lot of hard choices to make. So we want you to be informed. Make sure to have your schedule planned out ahead of time. You don't, for most of the programs, you don't need to pre-register for them, but it's good to kind of organize that all in one place. We know a lot of companies that send a big group of people will sometimes look together and sort of divide and conquer so that people are going to different workshops and then can come back and share that information together. So that's another great way to plan ahead. And then we're going to be talking about the app and how to use it and how to stay informed and what information will be in there a little bit later. And big thanks to Thomson Reuters who built that out for us. Another thing I want to point out to everybody is the Walt Disney Company has offered very discounted rates for park tickets. So we hope that you are going to stay with us at Summit and go to every single workshop and plenary and reception, and also come early or stay late to go to those theme parks. So the link is here. Again, it'll come back at the end of the call where you'll see it there also, but there are really great offers from Disney for our attendees of Summit for some discounted park tickets. So when you arrive at Dolphin and Swan, which is where most of the conference is going to be, so even if you're not staying there, you're going to come over there for the conference, you'll start seeing a lot of signs to registration, and that is going to be this year in the Engagement Center, which is in Atlantic Hall. So you'll walk in from the lobby, and right away you'll see escalators down with some signs to go to registration. And if you are going to Leadership Day, you can skip that whole process and just go right over to Yacht and Beach, and we're going to have a much smaller, faster registration process over at Leadership Day, so you don't need to stop by there to do that. But that is where everybody else that's not going to Leadership Day is going to get their badge. This year we are offering a speaker lounge for the first time. We are really excited about, sponsored by Unilever, who has a lot of really fun surprises and special treats for our speakers. So if you are a workshop presenter, we hope you'll stop by this special lounge. Anybody that's presenting at any of our workshops will have access to it. It'll be on your badge, and you'll be able to print out copies of anything you need there. You'll grab a cup of coffee. You'll get some gifts from Unilever. It's also a great spot if you and your fellow presenters need to meet. There'll be some quiet space in there where you can gather and connect and meet. So workshop presenters will get kind of another email about this, but we wanted to highlight it as a kind of special thank you to everyone that is presenting at Summit this year. So other kind of big items to note on your badge is going to be your plenary seating. So we have assigned seating for all 3 plenaries this year. Your table might change a little bit from plenary to plenary as different companies' contingencies expand or get smaller at different programs. So it kind of moves everybody around just a little bit. So in the program book and in the app will be the map of where all the tables are. And then on your badge, it'll have the name of the plenary and what table you're at. Also on your badge will be your silent auction bid number. We have mobile bidding for our silent auction and some really incredible items this year. You can see kind of a sneak peek at that Hillary Clinton signed baseball and David Bowie album, and some great items that we have this year. So we hope that you'll bid and you'll have fun with that, and that will be in our Engagement Center all 3 days of Summit. So now you're going to use the chat function and tell us a little bit about how you plan to take back the information you learned at Summit to your company. And we'll go ahead and read some of those off as people type in. Someone's telling us about Lunch and Learn. It's a great idea. Someone else is saying they're going to share with their ERG and do a report back with their global ERG. A lot of ERG responses. The debrief calls. Bringing it back to their business lines. Doing a presentation for their Diversity and Inclusion Council. Great. Help clients. More lunch and learns. Present to executive leadership. Share with the whole department. These are great. These are really fantastic. And as we keep going, if I move past this, feel free to keep typing that in. It's really helpful information for us and how we gather our trip reports and share information at Summit to have a really good understanding of how different people are using this information. So if you haven't put your answer in there, just any time throughout this, go through and keep doing that for us. So I am now delighted to turn it over to our Corporate Engagement Manager, Arti Sharma.
Thanks, Rachel. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us on today's call. As Rachel mentioned, I'm going to take a few minutes now to talk about partnership opportunities for companies and individuals at the Workplace Summit and before the summit. So one of the most anticipated parts of the Workplace Summit is the Engagement Center, formerly known as the Exhibit Hall, for those of you who have attended before. A big thank you to our friends at Thomson Reuters for being a sponsor of the Engagement Center. And for those of you who are attending your first Workplace Summit, the Engagement Center is really the hub of the summit. It's a space where companies, government agencies, and nonprofits that partner with Out&EQUAL get the opportunity to really engage with summit attendees and visibly show their support of Out&EQUAL and workplace equality. On the bottom of the slide, you'll see a few photos of Engagement Center booths from last year's Workplace Summit in Dallas. This year, what's a little bit different is we're encouraging companies and agencies to actively recruit. Not only will corporate partners get the opportunity to connect with summit attendees, this year for the first time, we have also done outreach to universities and colleges in Central Florida and invited students to join us in the Engagement Center. In the work that Out&EQUAL does, it has become increasingly evident that many of our corporate partners continue to struggle with LGBT recruitment, retention, and promotion, and that HR and diversity and inclusion professionals really look to Out&EQUAL for best practices and strategies by attending the annual Workplace Summit. And we believe that providing a space for companies and individuals who want to work for a company that values diversity and inclusion to meet with each other is a win-win for everyone. For a special note for recruiters, we will have rooms available to meet privately with candidates. Now I'd like to take just a few seconds to thank all of our sponsors. A special thank you to our presenting sponsors, Dell, the Walt Disney Company, and HSBC. We're thrilled to be partnering with nearly 300 companies, government agencies, and nonprofit and community partners. This year, we are fortunate to have 20 new corporate partners join us at the Workplace Summit for the first time, and nearly 100 that have returned, which is pretty incredible. Many of you have either started to or will be starting to create and edit budgeting requests for your employee resource group or D&I program when you head back to your office post-summit, and may be wondering, why should my company partner with Out&EQUAL, and specifically, why should my company sponsor the Workplace Summit for the first time, or hopefully sponsor again? One of the key things that the corporate engagement team works on with companies is creating a business case to answer that question. We believe that partnering with Out&EQUAL provides your company and employee resource group with 3 key benefits, and those are visibility, empowerment, and education. As a company that partners with Out&EQUAL, it makes it easily recognizable to summit attendees that your company is an employer of choice for LGBT and ally employees. While your intent may not to be for recruitment and retention, or maybe it is this year, having your logo in the program book, having a booth in the Engagement Center, and being in partnership with Out&EQUAL provides visibility to not only summit attendees, but also the people that they work with, so the reach is really beyond summit. We also offer a rich series of workshops and roundtables, and truly believe that education and empowerment go hand in hand. So with having over 100 opportunities for attendees to get the education they need and the opportunities to meet with other colleagues in their company or in different industries, We believe that when employees are equipped with the education, training, and techniques that they learned through attending the summit, they have the opportunity and obligation to bring that information back to their companies. My colleagues on the corporate engagement team, Stephen Huey and Dave Boucher, and I are already having conversations with existing and new corporate partners regarding the 2017 and 2018 Workplace Summit. So it's not too early to have sponsorship conversations with us. Another bonus to starting these conversations early is that you can lock in current sponsorship package prices and set your internal budgets accordingly. For those of you who are looking for ways to be involved with Out&EQUAL as an individual, we have the Advocates Club. Members of the Advocates Club are visionary leaders who exemplify a personal commitment to achieving a world free of discrimination and play an integral role in fueling the continued success of Out&EQUAL. By joining the Advocates Club, you have an opportunity to make a powerful and lasting impact towards ending LGBT discrimination. The criteria, if you will, for joining the Advocates Club is pretty straightforward. For those individuals who make a contribution to Out&EQUAL in the value of $1,000 and above within an 18-month period are eligible to become a member. So for those of you who work for companies that have a matching gifts program, please be sure to connect with your HR department or another department that helps with employee services to find out if your gifts to Out&EQUAL are eligible. And you may be wondering, why should I become a member of the Workplace Summit, of the Advocates Club before the Workplace Summit? This year, we're excited to have Advocates Club members join us at a thank you reception that is by invitation only, the VIP reception before gala, as well as exclusive fireworks viewing opportunities at Night Out. There will also be opportunities for Advocate Club members to meet summit speakers and celebrities in private meet and greets, as well as reserved seating at select events. If you have any questions or are interested in learning more, please contact Senior Development Associate Alyssa Jarvis, and she can help you. And now we're ready for poll number 3. And the question is, what are you most looking forward to at this year's Workplace Summit? And I am going to ask Daniel for his support in reading some of the responses.
Great, thank you, Arthi. So we're looking at, what are you most excited for? Workshops, featured panels, plenaries, Leadership Day, Engagement Center, networking receptions, Night Out, connecting with members of your ERG, or if there's anything that we left out, go ahead and chat that into us as well. And then go ahead and hit submit, and we'll be able to see your answers in real time. Okay, I see that someone's excited for Lance Bass and the Pointer Sisters. Fantastic. Great. Okay, lots of excitement around the workshops, overwhelmingly for the workshops, over 70%. Featured panels, always fantastic at nearly 40%. Night Out, about 45%. It's going to be a fantastic experience, which Rachel will talk about shortly. Meeting new people, I see written in. Just experiencing the conference for the first time. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Rachel, who's going to talk a little bit about Leadership Day.
Great, thanks, Daniel, and thanks, Arthi. So I started this at the beginning of the call, but I know we've gotten some questions in about it. I think we'll wait till the end to answer. But again, this is a really important chance to take a really deep dive into a topic that's of special interest to you and will help in your career and your professional development and your company's diversity and inclusion goals, and learn a lot more about that topic. It's also a really great chance for you to connect with other people that are interested in that. So you have a network of people throughout the year, not just at Summit, that you can go back to as you're coming up with a new issue that's coming up at your BRG, or something that's happening with you globally that you remember you met someone else that's doing that work in Brazil. So it's a great networking opportunity, and there's a lot of really rich content and very strong experts that are presenting there. And as we mentioned before, Leadership Day is over at Yacht and Beach. So if you are staying at Yacht and Beach, you can just walk right downstairs to the conference space, and you will be right there. If you're at Dolphin and Swan, you're going to take that red arrow, and we'll have a lot of directional signage and volunteers helping you find your way there over, and you can register right there on site at Yacht and Beach. You don't need to go to our registration downstairs. So you'll go directly to the Yacht and Beach Club. And talk to you about Wednesday. So Wednesday is our first day at Summit. I want to really encourage everybody on this call to attend our Summit orientation. In the past, we've called that Summer Newcomers Orientation, and we really encourage folks when it's your first time at Summit to come and learn about what to expect and how to make the most of your experience there. But this year, there is so many new things happening and so many kind of last-minute, really exciting opportunities that we took Newcomer out and are really encouraging everybody to attend and get the full scope of Summit. The other thing that's really great that happens at Summit Orientation is you get a much stronger understanding of who Out&EQUAL is and how to engage with us outside of those 4 days, what our education and training opportunities are, how we can connect with consulting or global, and how you can learn more about corporate engagement. So really encourage you to head to Summit Orientation, which will be at 9:30. So first thing kind of bright and early on Wednesday morning. And that leads right into our opening brunch, which I think I saw somebody ask what plenaries are. Our plenaries are our conference. It's kind of 3 times throughout the conference that we bring everybody together that's attending for a meal and to share in connection and hear some really inspiring speakers. And you see a sneak peek of one of our opening brunch speakers, Olympic gold medalist and U.S. women's soccer team captain Abby Wambach, who we are so excited to have joining us. And we hear might be kicking some soccer balls into the audience, so stay alert. And then Wednesday we have a ton of workshop sessions, which you'll hear about in a little bit, between opening brunch and the welcome reception. But it will lead right into the welcome reception, which is, again, another chance to connect with your colleagues and other conference attendees and say hello and be part of that networking opportunity. And not on here, because we have just kind of nailed down the last logistics, but you all will get some communication about this later on, is Comcast Universal as focus features have generously set up a private screening of their new film, Loving, which is a really incredible drama about the Loving versus Virginia case that is not really coming out until January of next year, but we're all going to get a sneak peek to that. So that's also happening Wednesday night. Those tickets are complimentary with your registration at Summit, but space is limited. So I'd say really early next week, you'll probably get an email inviting you to snag up your tickets for that program. And I encourage you to jump right on that because it's an incredible film, and we're really excited about Universal coming in and sharing it with us. On Thursday, we start early with ticketed breakfast. So we have our Human Resources Leadership Breakfast and our Women's Leadership Breakfast, both Thursday morning. Those are private ticketed events. So they do not come with your Summit registration, but you can purchase a ticket to them, although I will tell you they are very, very close to being sold out. So I would get those tickets soon. The HR Leadership Breakfast is going to be a phenomenal panel of executive sponsors of some of the best ERGs and BRGs represented. And our Women's Leadership Breakfast is going to feature some really incredible speakers, including the president of Sodexo in Ireland, Margot Slattery, and the director of our Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency here in the U.S., Sarah Saldina. So they're going to be really fantastic events. You can purchase your tickets the same place you registered. So if you've already registered, you just log back in, and you can get your tickets there. And Thursday is our second plenary, our Power Lunch. You can see a little sneak peek of what's to come there with Lance Bass. We also have a really phenomenal inspirational speaker, Diana Nyad, who was a person that swam without a shark tank from Miami to Cuba, or I think vice versa, and just has another really powerful, inspiring story. So it's going to be a great plenary, Power Lunch. And we are going to wrap up Thursday with Night Out, which I am going to talk a little bit more about now. So Night Out this year is being sponsored by the Walt Disney Company, who has very graciously shut down one of their theme parks, Disney's Hollywood Studios, for the night, special for our Summit attendees. We are going to have shuttles that leave from the Dolphin and Swan and the Yacht and Beach that will take you right on over to Hollywood Studios. It's a very short shuttle ride. And you will arrive and have kind of free reign of this amazing theme park. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be rides and just full of really fun surprises from the Walt Disney Company. So we are really excited about that. When you register for Summit, when you go to pick up your badge on site, you're going to get your ticket to Night Out. You need to have that with you when you show up to the park. We'll have a little bit of troubleshooting going on in case you lose it right there on site, but for the most part, we really encourage you to hold on to that night out ticket and bring it with you. You can buy guest passes to night out for $60, and there is a link that will go out along with this PowerPoint when we send that out to this group to show you where you can purchase those tickets. You'll also be able to purchase guest tickets on site. So it is going to be from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The shuttles will leave around 6:30, and we think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a really amazing special kind of just for Summit fireworks spectacular show that will be happening toward the end of the night. So it's going to be a great evening. I know we're going to do questions at the end, but I'm seeing a bunch of questions come in asking about age. So this is totally open to children. There is going to be adult beverages served throughout, but people will be checking ID, so feel free to bring anyone of any age. It's going to be a lot of fun for kids too. They have a ton of characters that are going to be there and saying hello, and definitely if your kids are coming, plan to bring them. And that leads us to Friday morning. So it starts bright and early with our government leadership breakfast, which is just like our HR breakfast, and our women's breakfast is a private ticketed event. So if you'd like a ticket, you can do that the same way on the registration site. We have some really phenomenal speakers at this government breakfast. We call Friday our executive day because if you have an executive at your company that can only come one day, we'd encourage them to come that Friday. It's where we schedule as much of that executive programming as we can, including a lot of our board and VIP kind of meet and greets and reception. So if you do have an executive coming from your company and it's coming just that one day, send a quick note to us, let us know who it is, and we can see kind of making sure that they have a really positive executive experience that day. We also have our gala reception and our VIP reception. So that VIP reception is invite only. It'll come if you are a sponsor of Out&Equals. Your sponsor contact has more information about that. And the gala reception is open to our full attendees. And that will lead into our gala dinner celebration. And you can see, again, another little sneak peek of what is to come, which is the Pointer Sisters. And we are so delighted to have them joining us at Summit this year. And our conference wraps up at Gala Friday night, but as we mentioned earlier, Saturday happens to be Orlando Pride, and we are really thrilled to be able to be there, and especially in kind of this really tough year for Orlando, to be there and be able to support the community there and really have a big presence. And so if you are staying Saturday morning, we have a shuttle that is going to head down and then back to the hotels, so you're welcome to get a ride with us. We're also going to be marching in the parade, so if you'd like to march and really be part of Orlando Pride this year, we would be really honored to have you marching with us. There is, again, another link that's going to go out after this conference call that is a site on how to sign up and let us know if you would like a ride or if you would like to march and how many people you'll be bringing with you. All right, and I am passing it over to our communications manager, Madison Leroy.
Thank you, Rachel. Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining our Know Before You Go webinar. One of the best ways to make the most of your Summit experience is by utilizing the official Workplace Summit mobile app, Convene, powered by our friends at Thomson Reuters. If this is your first Summit and you're feeling nervous about keeping your schedule organized, or you're unsure which workshops to attend, or that you may get lost in the hotel, Convene is your digital guide throughout the Summit. There are multiple functions to Convene, but think of it mostly as your virtual program book. You'll find everything from workshop sessions and speaker bios to maps of the venue and social media engagement. Convene uses the technology of push notifications, so you'll receive the most up-to-date announcements directly to your phone. You can search through the event guide and start planning your daily schedule. You can sort by date and filter by which session topics you're most interested in. You can view who else is attending Summit by scrolling through the attendee list. If you made a great connection with someone during a workshop, or you're curious about when a certain speaker is presenting, you can find who you're looking for by simply scrolling through the list. And if you choose to have your identity unknown, no problem. You can change your privacy settings on your profile by toggling that small eyeball icon on your profile. Once you've found the workshops or the speakers that you don't want to miss, click the heart icon in the top right corner of your screen to save them to your favorites, and you can check back to this list at any time for your reference. And hopping between apps can be time-consuming. That's why we recommend connecting your Twitter account to Convene. Using the Twitter icon in the top right corner, you can easily view and send tweets with other Summit attendees with automatically generated hashtags for OE Summit. We have over 150 different exhibitors this year in our Engagement Center, but don't be overwhelmed because you can quickly see which companies are participating and where their booth location is in the Engagement Center. And if you have any more questions, check out the Summit FAQs, property maps, safety information, and emergency contacts all within Convene. And as a side note, Convene is compatible with both iPhone and Android smartphones, and you will receive an email notification prior to Summit when Convene is ready for download. And if you do not already subscribe to the Out and Equal newsletter, you can do so by visiting our homepage at www.outandequal.org and click the Be Informed button on our homepage. And be sure to follow us. You can find Out and Equal on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with the handle @OutandEqual. And don't forget to use hashtag OE Summit before, during, and after the summit. And Daniel, I'll pass the mic back to you.
Fantastic. Well, we've seen a lot of great questions coming in throughout the session, so definitely keep chiming those in as we begin to go through our Q&A. And we have a few questions coming in specifically around Leadership Day. And the question is if they need to pre-select which session within Leadership Day they will be attending.
Yes, you do. So when you go to register for Leadership Day, it will ask you which one you'd like to go to, and there is a title for each of them and a little bit of a description and who is leading it, so you'll be able to pick ahead of time.
Great. And the next one was also Leadership Day specific, but I can go ahead and take that. So it's asking if it's one topic for the entire day, and that's true because it's an intensive into those focus areas. So for example, Pat Bailey, Director of Training, and myself will be presenting what was formerly known as Train the Trainer as our LGBT diversity certification training, and we'll be doing that as an all-day intensive, and that will hold true for all of the different sessions. We have a few questions around Convene. Some folks are trying to find it on the App Store, and Madison, maybe if you could just help them pinpoint that exactly where they should go. And then some folks are saying that they're not seeing Out and Equal listed within the Events tab.
Sure, and if you are on your App Store now on your smartphone and you're looking for Convene, you should be able to find the actual app called Convene, powered by Thomson Reuters. However, you will not find the 2016 Workplace Summit event just yet. We are still working on building the rest of it out. So you will receive an email when it's time to download that. I saw a question, what if you already have Convene from last year? And that's great. You can still use your Convene app from last year. Just make sure that you have the most updated version. So again, just checking back to your App Store that you have the most updated version.
Great. And then, Madison, while we're with you, a few folks have chimed in that they don't currently receive our Out and Equal email notifications, and how can they sign up for those?
Absolutely. So it's very simple. You can go to our homepage, which is www.outandequal.org. And on our homepage, in the blue bar right below the main screen, it says Be Informed and Join the Effort. And it's a Sign Up Now button, and you'll receive all emails going forward.
Great. So we did have a few more questions with regard to the location of Leadership Day. As Rachel had mentioned, Leadership Day will be held at Yacht and Beach. There's no need for a shuttle between Dolphin and Swan and Yacht and Beach. It's just a quick 7-minute walk over there. So that will be at Yacht and Beach, whereas the main summit, the conference, will be at Swan and Dolphin. There are also Leadership Day only tickets available, and Rachel, correct me, is that $250 for Leadership Day only?
That's right.
Great. A lot of folks are asking if you can get a copy of this presentation afterward. This call will be recorded, and we'll send out a follow-up email, so it will be available as a digital archive, both for yourself or if there are people within your company that you feel it's important to share this with. Some folks are asking about dress code for gala and if additional tickets were available if they wanted to bring someone.
Yeah, so the dress is formal festive, so it's a wide range. We hope you'll wear whatever makes you feel beautiful. But it is kind of business festive, I would say. And absolutely there are tickets available, so that's, again, something you can purchase the same place that you registered for the conference and get a gala-only ticket. And you can buy your guest pass there. There will be a little note when you do that asks where you would like that person to sit. So please make sure if you're getting a gala-only ticket for someone that you put a note that you'd like to sit with them if you would like to sit with them.
Great. Madison, I think this will fall to your court. What are the approved hashtags for the Out and Equal Workplace Summit?
Great question. And the official Workplace Summit hashtag is hashtag #OESummit.
Fantastic. So this is with regard to the Engagement Center, asking if people who are staffing the booths within the Engagement Center need to register in advance.
Yes, so they do need to register. Everybody that is attending the conference, anywhere they're going to be, needs to go ahead and register, but they will be able to select an Engagement Center only registration, which will void out the cost. So they won't need to pay anything, but we do need to get them a badge and get them into our system.
Great. A few questions came in with regard to the seating arrangements for the plenaries, and I was wondering if you could talk about how that will work.
Yeah, so if you are with a sponsor company of Out and Equal, your whole contingency will be seated together at a table. And what will happen is every individual will be assigned their own seat at each table. So if, let's say you have 30 people coming from your company, we'll assign 3 different tables, and then it's a little bit randomized, each person which one of those 3 tables are at. You all are welcome to switch people around and ask people to go to a different table, so you could put different divisions together or split people up or however your company wants to do it, as long as you stay within the 3 tables that you all are assigned to. If you're not with a sponsor company, you're going to be in open seating. So on your badge, it'll say the plenary, and it will say open next to it. And then there will be a number of tables kind of throughout the space that you're going to be welcome to sit at, and they'll be clearly marked as open seating tables.
Great. So a lot of folks have mentioned that they're going to be traveling with their spouses and families, and wondering if you can elaborate on which opportunities will be available for them to participate as well.
Sure. So you can purchase a ticket to them to go to Gala. They can get a ticket to come to Night Out, and they can also join us at the Pride Parade.
Super. There was a question with regard to the parade, if there's a limited amount of participation for the Out and Equal contingency.
There is. So we haven't quite hit it yet, so there's still quite a lot of room, but we do have a capped number. So I would sign up again if you're interested in marching and being part of the contingent. I would sign up sooner than later.
Great. A few questions coming in around the Speakers Lounge and sort of how that will work and what will be made available for people who are presenting within that space.
Sure. So you'll have on your badge, if you're a presenter, you'll have a little denotation that says workshop presenter on your badge. That'll be what you'll use to get into the presenter lounge. If for some reason you don't have it, you'll be able to give your name, and we'll have a list there. But we really encourage you to have your badge with you all of the time. And when you come in, there are going to be a series of tables and different furniture options for you to have kind of a quiet moment to check in with somebody, or if you need to get some work done in a quiet space, you'll be able to use that. There will be printers available. The printers are not intended for you to make tons of copies for your presentation, but really to print off notes that you might need as a presenter, not to make copies for kind of everybody in the room. we have a business center on property, which is a better spot to go if you have to make a lot of copies. But there will be a printer there. There will be special workshop Wi-Fi, and there's Wi-Fi throughout the conference hotel. But there's a workshop kind of dedicated Wi-Fi line in there. And then there'll be some snacks and coffee and kind of some fun treats from our friends at Unilever.
Great. There's a few folks chiming in saying that they were looking online for the guest tickets for Night Out, and there seemed to be some sort of restriction with regard to September 5th. So that might be something we'll have to check out on our side. I'm not sure if there's any input that anyone might have on that.
That sounds like an error, so we'll go in and see what's happening there.
Yeah, that's always good to hear from our constituents, so we'll look into that. A few folks are asking what the price for gala-only ticket would be.
This is Arthi. That's also currently $250 until September 15th, so people have one more week to make a decision. And then after September 16th, up until October 1st, the price will increase to $350.
Great. A few questions about, let's see, the engagement center, if there are going to be areas where people can sit and have conversations, and how that might look.
Yeah, if you were at our engagement center last year, you might remember there was kind of a central hub right in the middle that had a series of small tables and chairs for you to sit and work at or meet with somebody. So we'll have that again. So there'll be kind of a handful, not an unlimited amount of seating and tables and chairs, but certainly what we think will be a sufficient amount for folks throughout the conference.
Great. So just a few more questions here. If there are any more, please feel free to chime in. Some questions with regard to registration. This particular individual says that she'll be arriving later Tuesday evening. So where would one pick up their registrations during different times in the conference?
Yeah, so registration at Yacht & Beach is going to be open from about 7:30 in the morning until around 2 p.m. And concurrently, registration at Dolphin and Swan, which if you are coming late to Leadership Day, you could still pick up your registration badge there. And that will be open around 12 p.m. That Tuesday and stay open until 6 p.m.
Great. A few folks asking, what are the days and hours of the engagement center?
So the engagement center is open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, pretty much all day on Wednesday and Thursday. So I think it opens up around 8 a.m. And if someone's on the call and knows a different answer, feel free to chime in. And closes around 5 p.m. The only time the engagement center is closed is during the plenaries. So on Wednesday, it'll be closed from 11 to 1, and on Thursday, it'll be closed from 1 to 3. On Friday, it has limited hours, so it'll be open just from 8 a.m. to noon.
Great. Question here of when the schedule for the conference will be made available. I believe that should currently already be up on our website. Some questions here around transportation from the airport, recommendations for cab services. I know when we've gone in and out, we've used Mears Shuttle, which seems to work out well. And some questions here on how folks can sign up if they do want to be with us in the Pride Parade.
Great. So Daniel, when you send this out, is it possible to send those links out again to this whole group so they can get the Eventbrite links to sign up to march in the parade or take the shuttle with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be doing a follow-up email to this call. It's going to include the recording of the entire call, and what we'll do is, for all these questions and different events that we've mentioned, we can include those resource links so folks can go ahead and click in for that. Okay. Great. Some questions with regard to folks who are not staying on the Walt Disney World property in terms of being able to get in and what parking might look like for them.
Yeah, it will be really simple to get in. You'll come in through Walt Disney World park gates, and you'll see the directions to head to Dolphin and Swan. When you head there, they have, I know that there is, that the hotel charges for parking. I am not sure what the rate is, but I bet we could find that out and put it on the FAQ, Madison, right, on the website.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I can actually say I was just there last week doing some pre-training on property, and it's $20 per day for parking. I think another question that's coming in, and we can definitely include this link as well, is where folks can purchase for the ticketed events.
That's on the registration site. So if the same place you went to register for Summit, you'll go back in there and log back in with your login information, and you'll see options for those ticketed events.
Great. Okay, with that, I'm not seeing anything new coming in, but I'd like to allow Rachel, Arthie, and Madison if you want to make any closing comments.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We are really excited to see you in Orlando in a few short weeks. It's going to be a fantastic conference, in no small part made to your presence and the energy and excitement that you're showing just by being on this call. So we really appreciate it, and we are really looking forward to seeing you in Orlando.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining the call. I'm super excited for Orlando this year, and if you're on social media, please do engage with us, join the conversation, and stay tuned for that Know Before You Go email and updates about CONVENE. Thanks so much.
And just quickly from the corporate engagement side of things, if you are a member or our contact at a company that is currently a partner of Out&EQUAL, you'll surely be receiving an email from Stephen, Dave, and myself shortly to set up some time to meet either at an event that or a workshop that your company is hosting, or just to make sure that we touch base while at Summit to make sure that everyone's having a really fantastic experience. So we're all looking forward to seeing everyone in, 3 weeks now?
Great. Well, thank you all for your participation, and thank you to all of you for logging in today. We're so excited to see everyone the first week of October in Orlando. There will be a brief survey at the end of the call, and your feedback is important to us, so take a moment to fill that out. Again, we look forward to seeing all of you next month in October, and have a great day.
Take me down into your